With all the streams and the tips and tricks videos that I have done for PGA Tour 2K25, I've had a lot of people actually ask me, like, what is the best way to practice in this game? What is the best way to practice certain shot types in this game? How can I improve in it? Now, the best way to just improve in the game overall is just with reps, with repetition in the game, taking swings over and over and over and over again. But there is something in the game that allows you to practice certain things out on the course so that you can get better at them. And that is through the handy dandy training course that is included in the game. You can get to it if you go to play, go down to training. It'll open up a secondary menu for you where you can practice different things. You can practice the driving range, approach practice, or putting practice. And I'm going to go through each of these with you and kind of show some tricks that you can do within each of them to help you practice certain shots. And the first one that we take a look at today is the driving range. Now, this is one that you guys have seen a ton of, and I've also gone over like how to use the driving range effectively. Like the first thing that you can do is what I suggest every time you load up the game, you come in here and just take a few swings. Now, if you take just a normal swing, let's say just like this, you come in and you take a swing. There we go. You have to watch the ball fly, watch it roll, and come all the way down to a stop. And then you get this screen, and then you go back and you can take another swing if you would like. What you can do is you can actually just press the right stick in to get this practice swing, and you can just sit here and just take practice swings over and over and over again to work on your swing, to practice it, to make corrections if you need to. You can just take all of these swings. It's quicker, it's easier, and it'll help you, not only get maybe a little warmed up, but help you also work on the swing overall so that you can become better at this game. And I mean, something that other people have probably surely tried is there's greens all over the place. To the right, to the left, you can try all sorts of different shots that you would like. You can bring them in, you can practice choke tee shots if you'd like. You can even look at how like a pitch shot rolls out. So you have a little green here where you can test it out. It has greens all over the place for all different types of shots that you want to work on. The driving range is pretty straightforward though, but it is nice just to see how maybe your ball will react, testing out different shot shaping, different spin rates, all of this stuff. You can come in and you can do that all here on the driving range. Now, this is only for tee shots though. What if you want to practice approach shots or practice elevation? What can you do then? Well, what you can do is you can hit start. You can get to this from the main menu too, but you can hit start, you can go training facility, and you can do approach practice. So when you go into the approach practice, what will happen is it'll put you on a different part of the training facility. So here's the driving range here. The approach practice will either put you here or it'll put you over here so that you can try different things, try different approaches, try different shot types, do chipping practice, splash practice, anything that you might want to do. Now, it'll set you up to whatever pin it starts you with. But let's say I don't want to do this pin. I want a different pin, maybe one that has some bunkers around. What you can do is you can hit start again. You can select training facility again. Go to approach practice. They used to have a way where you could cycle through the holes. They don't have that anymore for whatever reason. And here we go. We have been placed at a different hole. Maybe I don't want to do this one, though. Maybe I want something with a little bit more, undulation in the green. You can select training facility and approach practice again, and you can get placed. Now, sometimes it puts you at the same hole that you were already at. We don't want that, though. Like I said, they used to be able to cycle the holes. I haven't figured out how to do that or if you even can. Here we go. So now we're at a different green. And again, doing this, sometimes it'll place you at the same hole. You just have to keep doing it until you find the hole that you want to practice at. And from here, you can test different things. You can try different things. Like coming into this green, you see how it's a little like Sloped, well, how does a tie spinner look when I hit it into, you know, a hill like this? You can hit it and see what it looks like. That's what it looks like. All right. Well, what if I actually pull it back a little bit and try a tie spinner out? What does it do when I hit it a little short? Oh, well, that's what it does. So you can test out different shots. Maybe you want to see what a chip looks like when you hit it into like a really steep hill like that. You can test that out and see what it looks like. Now, you can do all this stuff out on the course, but you have to put yourself into these situations out on the course. Here, you can actually choose wherever you'd like to go. And that is done if you click the help menu. I'll also get my face out of here. But if you get out of here and it says new location. So what you can do for PlayStation, it's circle. So I can hit circle, and it brings up this, which you saw a little bit earlier when I showed you the driving range. You can actually place yourself. You can't do it on the green because this is approach practice, but you can place yourself anywhere on this map and hit into this hole that you have selected. So if I want to try something a little bit further out, let's go place myself right here. You hit X on PlayStation, and now we're about 101 yards out. And we can take shots from this and just see what it looks like. Touch open. And short into the wind. God dang it. That was a bad shot. Let's try that again. Let's add a little bit of juice into it. There we go. We can test that out if we'd like. Or if you want to see what maybe this looks like, you know, we're not hitting it into a hole, but I just want to practice, you know, a different club. I can practice a different club coming into different slopes on the greens. But let's say you want to practice that shot every time, because what it does is it always resets you to whatever it gives you like first selected for this shot. So it'll always bring me back to a 60-degree wedge for an approach shot. What you can do is you actually can hit start. You can go to auto mulligan. We turn on auto mulligan. Now, when we hit a shot in, so we clubbed up, we're hitting a shot in. Auto mulligan's on. Boom. We still have the 52 degree, and we are now hitting it back to the same location that we had selected. So you can sit here and practice these types of shots over and over and over again, however you would like to do. It'll always take you back to the shot that you had selected when you hit it. And this comes in handy for many different things. Like if you want to practice, I don't know, let's practice a bunker shot. You can do that here. So we have a splash, but maybe I want to test out some blast shots. You can switch over to blast. Let's make sure that this is still selected. It is. Auto mulligan. And we can practice blast shots. When we come back to the bunker, we have blast shots at that exact distance that we had selected. So this is a way that you can test all sorts of shot types out. Because I've seen some people say, like, how do you, like, people don't know that you can move this wherever you can move it up here. Like, let's go up here. Let's go right here. That's light rough. That's fairway. Jesus. So here we go. We have a 219-yard shot in. 59 down. If you want to test out maybe what elevation does, you can do this. And you can come up here and you can take a shot with a 3-iron and see what that looks like. See how that spins out. Is there maybe something a little bit better for elevation? Let's see. What if we go over here? 30 feet down. All right, we can get a little bit better than that. There, we can test out hitting a 3-wood into this green. See what a 3-wood looks like. And I'm open with everything, of course. This has been my miss when I first start playing. Gosh darn it. There, we can see what a 3-wood looks like. That's what it looks like. You can test all different shots out. All over the place here. It is all available to you through this training facility. Now, some people also make training courses. If you want to test out like certain elevation like gaps, you can do that too. You can find those as well. But the training facility, this in its entirety, is a good way to practice all different types of shots that you are working on all over this facility. So you can come in and practice every day. Maybe one day you're like, I want to practice nothing but flop shots. You know, I'm a right-handed golfer and the flop is opposite of what my bias is. You can come in here and just practice flop shot over and over and over and over and over and over again if you would like. You can test it from the rough. You can test it from the fairway. You can test it wherever you would like from. Like, here we go. There's a flop shot. I want to see what this looks like. All right, we get auto mulligan. Takes us right back to a 52 degree flop shot. I'm super open on it, so I know I have to, you know, adjust my swing angle on my controller. There we go, we're closed. Pushed it a little bit, but we're closed now. So you can come in and just do a flop shot. You know, today's the day that I'm going to test the flop shot and practice the flop shot. You can do that all here on the training facility. But if we come back into the start menu, we can go back to the training facility, and we can do putting practice. Now, the good thing about putting practice is you can actually cycle through a bunch of shots. Now, if you have auto mulligan on, it'll automatically bring you back to the same shot that you have. But let's say we want some practice at different distances and different speeds. So, we missed it. It'll bring us back. We made it. All right, what happens when you make it? You get a different pin. Do you want to test out this pin for any different shot? Maybe you want to test going up the hill, double breaker. Now, if you want to test this shot over and over and over and over again, you have to make sure that you have auto mulligan on. So, geez, let me see if I can actually make this. This might be a little bit of a tough putt to make. Oh, we lipped it. And I lipped it. Okay. All right. Moving a little bit to the left. There we go. And all mulligan brings us right back here. So if you want to keep this pin and test out different putts, you have to turn auto mulligan off. Or turn auto mulligan on, sorry. Because as soon as you turn auto mulligan off, which I'll do now. Okay. As soon as we turn auto mulligan off, it moves us to a different pin. And again, if you don't like this pin, you can always go training facility, go back to putting practice, and it'll give you a different pin again. It took us back to the last one we're at, but you can cycle through these pins and continue putting practice. So these are at your disposal. You don't need to find a course to play. You don't have to make a course to play. You can do all of this in the training facility yourself. So overall, when it comes to this game, this is going to be a really short video, but I wanted to get this to people because a lot of people have asked me, like a ton of people have asked me, like, how do you practice? What's the best way to practice? How do you, how have you gotten so good with the flop shots and having it opposite bias? Like, what have you done? And that's me coming in here and just practicing it. Because this game, you need repetition. You need the reps over and over and over again to improve. The game is quite difficult to master. You can get into it very easily with like perfect swing, amateur, pro-am. But once you get up to the pro, master, legend, that's when it gets a little bit more difficult. It takes, honestly, hundreds of hours to master this game. And using this training facility absolutely helps in that process. But if you didn't know about how this functions, now you know. And you can go out and test for yourself and hopefully become better at PGA Tour 2K25 or PGA Tour 2K23 because it's in there as well. I had planned to get this out in a couple of days because a lot of people had asked, but then I got a comment, 3 comments on a video that I put out where people were also asking, like, how are you moving this? And to get this set up, like, this would take me hours of cycling shots. And it's like, no, you can just move it wherever you want and test it however you want. That capability is in the training facility. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, make sure to leave a like on the video. Think about subscribing to the channel for PGA 2K25 content. And I will catch you on the next one.